I am Chris Gaylor.
And I'm Amber Frost, Kyuujin cosplay, and today we are back once again with Loki, episode 2.
Yes, the variants. So, pretty strong first episode for this show. We knew we were gonna like it because it's Loki and we all love Loki.
We all love Tommy Hiddleston.
Honestly, I fell in love, I think, with the Owen Wilson and Tommy Hiddleston dynamic. I think I will really enjoy this show, and I'm excited for this episode. So, yeah, first episode, what happened?
Well, we kind of learned that nothing we decided to do is our own choice because everything is already set in stone because of the secret timeline.
In a very funny twist here, we basically got Loki who went off script and he became a variant. He met the script people, you know, the people that write his story for him, you know, the Time Lords, the ones that don't really give a shit if he's a god and if he's, you know, all powerful because everything that he's doing was written by them, basically. So now that he's a variant, he was supposed to be basically destroyed,
purged,
reset. And by the way, when I was editing, I figured out that the thing that they left behind is not to erase memories or anything. It's to erase the timeline that he created when he became a variant.
Oh.
So everyone that's left behind when they take someone just get killed. They get reset. They disappear.
Oh, okay.
So that's what the other variant that we're looking for, which is another Loki, is looking for and taking. Because, yeah, there's that too. The reason why Loki hasn't been reset yet is because they need his help. There's another of him somewhere, or maybe another of her somewhere, because it could be female Loki. We don't know. That has been giving them some trouble, so they are gonna ask for his help to stop that variant.
True.
And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty fucking great set up for the whole story, and I'm excited to see if our Loki is gonna become the hero this time. So yeah,
for once.
So let's just jump in this episode and see what they have in store for us. And
let's watch it, guys.
Let's go. You're not standing out at all.
What's going on? You guys aren't dressed right. So. Some of us need this, you know.
Thanks for breaking the illusion.
When what you said that with the machine that they got that is gonna erase everything from this timeline, no wonder that they're not subtle with it, you know?
Yeah, they don't give a shit.
Everything won't matter after what they're doing.
The trap, watch your back.
Let's see if it's a girl hand or something. I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm sorry. Sorry. Where's the streetwise Achilles to find the rising arms? There's another white light upon the fiery steam. Late at night I toss and I turn and I dream of what I need. I'm only out for a hero till the end of the night. You gotta be strong and you gotta be fast and you gotta. I'm trying to see if it's a girl.
We'll see.
I don't think it's played by Tom Hiddleston. I don't think it's Tom Hiddleston. So there's that.
I think it's the thing with the tune that we need Loki to be this time the hero, you know?
He is gonna be the hero, but like, even if he was the hero, the variant could very well be a guy or a girl or anyone. So that doesn't take away his hero-ness.
A Loki couldn't have gotten the jump on C20.
I think you underestimate, actually.
Fan out
I love how
and
they
search
say,
for her.
"Hey Loki."
Hurry up, because we're at 3 units until red line.
Wait.
Show some genius. That's why you're here.
If you leave this tent, you'll end up like them. What do you see?
I see a scheme. And in that scheme, I see myself.
I love this.
We have a saying in Asgard, where there are wolf's ears, wolf's teeth are near. It means to be aware of your surroundings, Which is absurd, because my people are by nature gullible fools. A trait that I, the god of mischief, exploited time and time again, simply by listening.
We're running out of time, Mobius.
Hold it. Just give him a chance.
You remind me of them.
They think they're too powerful to get the drop on them.
Those you underestimate will devour you. You underestimate me, just as you underestimate this lesser Loki. Which is why you walk into one wolf's mouth after another.
Okay, come on, Loki. Make a long story short.
We need to look for C20.
But that's exactly what the variant wants you to do. He's waiting for you outside this tent.
Should I secure the reset charges?
No, he wants me. I'm the key to his plan. He knows that I'm stronger than him.
Almost one unit.
And he rightly believes that together we can overthrow and rule the TVA. But that's not what I want. I have a new purpose. I'm a servant of the sacred timeline, and knowing what I now know about his tactics, I can deliver you the variant. But I need assurances.
Yeah?
Assurances that I won't be completely disintegrated the moment the job has been done.
Right.
And we'll need to speak to the timekeepers at once.
Gotta make sure he's got his end of the deal, you know? He's kind of manipulating them. But that's Loki for you.
He's lying. Just playing games. There's no one out there. Yeah, me for a second. My ears are sharp, too.
He's not that dumb. But you do need Loki though, so...
He's hiding in apocalypses. Nexus events happen when someone does something they're not supposed to do, right? Let's just say
What are you doing?
your salad is Asgard.
No.
In
He's
this
gonna
sense.
destroy the salad?
That's
It's a
my
metaphor.
lunch.
Just hang in there. I could go down to Asgard before Ragnarok causes its complete destruction, and I could do anything I wanted. Set fire to the palace.
No, just stop. Don't set fire to the palace.
He's just so motivated.
You. Nice to see you. I just need this for a second.
No.
Because the apocalypse is coming. Ragnarok. Surtur will destroy Asgard no matter what I do.
No, don't do...
Sorry,
It's the
man. I hope you're
apocalypse.
not hungry.
That's the apocalypse.
Ragnarok obliterates the salt.
So he can change stuff if he doesn't change the end game.
The variant could be hiding in the apocalypse and do whatever he wants, and we wouldn't know. Take me to a real apocalypse. Take me to Ragnarok. I'll show you.
I'm not taking you for a stroll along the promenade, much less an apocalypse.
It's
Mobius,
nothing.
come on. What could possibly go wrong?
You lure me out into the field and then you stab me in the back.
I'd never stab anyone in the back.
You're sure?
It's such a boring form of betrayal.
You've literally stabbed people in the back like 50 times.
He knows him better than anyone
Never
else.
do it again, because it got old.
It got old.
Okay. You can trust one thing. I love to be right.
True. Very true. Pompeii.
Oh, yeah, that's
That's an apocalypse.
Here we go. Any minute now. Until this entire town is wiped off the face of its planet. Imagine all that volcanic ash.
I know we don't want to get too giddy.
Oh, come on. It's cool.
No, it is cool, but it's just not in good taste because of...
Well, they're all gonna die anyway.
They're all gonna die. Don't joke about it.
Can you make bird noises?
Bird noises.
Yeah, bird noises, like some like whooshing noises.
Loki! Loki! Mihi nomen est Loki. Praefectus consilii ad tempus mutandem. Atque ad ferro acerbum nuntium.
Doing things
ad
small,
vos
it's not in his
omnes.
style.
Vos omnes. Morituri estis. Scio haec esse vera. Quod ego de futuris ad veni. Right off you! Enjoy your last meal while you can. Nothing matters!
I don't believe it. Zero variant energy.
And they make fun
no
of
branching the timeline.
Pompeii.
TVA would never even
Jesus.
know we were here. If it were me, this is where I
Let it
would
go! Let it go! Time's running up!
By the way, at your desk, that magazine,
Yeah, the one on jet skis.
why'd you have that?
Because they're awesome.
Does he dream of human life?
You ever been on one?
No. I think a TVA agent showing up on a jet ski on the sacred timeline, that would create a branch for sure.
Do it before an apocalypse.
So why read about them?
It just helps remind me of what we're fighting for.
I'm
I mean, you really believe in all this stuff, don't you?
3 magic lizards
Timekeepers.
created the TVA, and everyone in it,
Right.
including you.
Including me.
So everything is written. Past, present, future.
It's called a
There's
script.
no such thing as free will. How does it all end?
That's a work in progress.
Oh, there's lazy timekeepers. What are they waiting for? When they're finished, what happens then?
So are we.
You just blindly trust
Our
them.
Nexus events, just order, and we meet in peace at the end of time.
Yeah, no, this is
That's right.
far-fetched as fuck.
Maybe or maybe not.
It sounds boring.
You know, you called me a scared little boy.
I called you a lot of things.
You did. You see, I know something children don't.
What's that?
That no one bad is ever truly bad. And no one good is ever truly good.
Very true. I don't even know if they still exist. Like, I'm starting to doubt that they're still around doing their job.
Well,
Or that they are exactly what they say they are. Because they don't see them.
they might still be there, but maybe they're not doing their job anymore, you know?
The hell was that?
Magic trick.
That was me. Using magic to dry my clothes.
I mean, he's got some tricks. They keep pushing him down, but he can do some stuff.
You can trust me. I understand. I have to earn that. So I will.
I have trust in him. Like, I trust him, but like a few minutes ago he was trying to further his own agenda, you know? We don't know if the opportunity offers itself to him. I think the only reason he's not doing anything right now is because he knows they can stop him so easily. But if he ever gets the plan, he might try something. I have faith in him because I know he's a good guy. But
Yep.
fuck.
You're the fool the TVA brought in to hunt me down.
Me, I presume.
Please. If anyone's anyone, you're me.
Both of them don't want to be the lesser
The lesson
one.
only, I know.
I think he's trying to
I'm
play
going to
him.
overthrow the timekeepers.
And that I do believe, but
And cards on the table. I could use a qualified lieutenant.
I'm not interested in ruling the Time Variance Authority.
I wonder if he wants to destroy the timekeepers.
Maybe.
Just throw a bunch of bombs, reset them all. Once we figure out what he wants, that other Loki, it's gonna be so fucking interesting to discuss why he wants it and how he came to want it.
I see. That's your plan. Lure us all here so you could blow the place up.
It's time for you to finally win something. Little magic trick. I think it's really cool.
Stop hiding!
Brace yourself, Loki.
It's not good. It's not a good sign. Hello? It could definitely be a girl.
Yeah, the shape is a bit
Feminine.
small, yeah.
Yep.
This isn't about you.
Well, there you have it.
Right.
Oh, man. That's a lot of devices. Oh, boy. It's a lot.
Where are they going?
Or everywhere, you know?
Oh my god, I've seen all of those variant timeline. Fudge.
Yeah, you're in deep shit. She's bad. She's really bad. And she's really good, too, at what she does. Buddy. Ah. I still trust him. He's got to do something. He's gonna do something by the end of this fucking show. It's over already?
That went fast.
How fast are these fucking episodes?
I think like 45 minutes. I didn't talk much during the episode, but let me hear you out.
Very good episode again, by the way.
First of all, I want to just point out that when Loki is motivated to do something, he's quick to learn, because we know that Loki learned magic from his mom. He's not really a fighter type like his brother Thor, but someone who's like to read and learn stuff, and
his
just
fighting is in his mind.
He's more of an intellectual fighter type, you know.
He's definitely an intellectual fighter. He manages to twist stuff in order to, you know, not have to fight. He ends up, you know, creating discord in his enemies' ranks. He's gonna use the other to fight his enemies. It's never really him who does anything. Although whenever he throws, you know, his gloves on the floor and starts fighting, it's pretty cool. But
when he needs to get his hands dirty, he gets it done, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, this female Loki is very different in that way. I don't know how long this variant has been running around. I feel like you were saying he learns really fast. I have a feeling that the experience level is a lot higher for female Loki than it is for our Loki. He's a green boy, you know. He's still learning to deal with his emotions about whatever, you know, is happening. He's still kind of like Mobius said, a scared child. He doesn't scared boy. He doesn't, you know, he has, you know, broken feelings. He's got trust issues. Like, he hasn't dealt with all of this, and I feel like female Loki has gone through this already. So maybe the experience is different, and that's why right now, at least, the lesser Loki is our Loki, not the female one. By the way, that's not how I imagined a female Loki to look like. I don't know what female Loki looks like.
She's not supposed to look like that.
Yeah, I don't know what female Loki is supposed to look like in the comics, but
she's supposed to look like our Loki, but in a female version.
Yeah.
Like
so they made her very different.
Unless that's not female Loki.
Well, that's actually the thing, you know, whenever, you know, they were facing each other at the end, and there was this you know, wink at, oh, don't call me Loki, don't call me that. I know maybe that's not her name, considering she's not technically, you know, Guy Loki and R Loki and stuff. Maybe the name is different, but, you know, the color of the power is green, which is his color, but that's not enough. That's not a big enough clue. So I started thinking, like, maybe that's not even Loki. That's someone, you know, that pretended to be Loki. But that wouldn't make any sense, because the you know, keepers and stuff, the TVA agents, they would have known, right? They recognize this as being a variant Loki. So it's just that the differences are just too big. So that's why it feels like it's someone completely different. And technically they do think alike. You know, Loki managed to find her, so that worked. Although it could also be just his genius. So it's not so much that they think alike, it's just that he's intelligent enough to find the little details. Stuff that he would notice that others would not notice. Because I did notice that in the episode. Kind of like, you know, Loki and the Asgardians think that they are above everyone else because they're gods. And they tend, because of that, to act like they're dumb and they're stupid and they don't pay attention to everything. Well, the TVA also does the same thing, you know. They think they are so strong and powerful that they don't bother to pay attention to the lesser humans. So it made a lot of sense when he said, you know, those lesser people, those people you underestimate are the ones that are gonna beat you eventually. Yeah. Never underestimate the people. Because at one point when the power goes to your head and you forget, you know, you forget who you are actually working for, because they're working for the people in the timeline, you know. They're doing the timekeepers' job, but they're working for the humans. So when you forget who you're working for, there's there are problems
Speaking of
like
the
that.
timekeeper, though, you made up on that maybe the timekeepers are not what they say that they are, or they're not even there. I would not even be surprised that they are there, but they're just done with untangling the timeline for the future, you know.
Like at this point, it's not even, they don't, you know, this whole conversation was way too focused on a possible future. You know, he trusted, Mobius trusts so much that, oh, they're gonna make everything great again. You know, they created that sacred timeline in order to lead us all to the happy, you know, ending. But then there's not gonna be an ending. There's never an ending, you know, to life in general. So that's a bit far-fetched, right?
We don't know that. Who says as the the timeline is not like a videotape,
But then-
and you're just watching it rolling
but-
on, and one time you're gonna be at the end of the tape is gonna be the end of it.
I think I think it's naive to think that there's going to be an ending for all and a happy ending of that. I mean, we're talking about people who joke when it comes to, you know, apocalypses and shit. So what ending does he think he's going to get? He doesn't know that. He trusts the timekeepers to do their job and lead them to that. What I see is the timekeepers stopped a war from happening between various timelines, and then they decided that the sacred timeline that they created was supposed to be the timeline, the one that they are in control of, and the one that they're supposedly supposed to, you know, lead towards a happy ending for everyone. And then the TVA got created, and their job was to eliminate any variant timeline created. So after a while, like I'm guessing they've existed for forever. You know, they've existed for so long that maybe they forgot, you know, how it all began. All of them, they don't know how it all began. Everything is fucking confidential at the library, so I don't know if anyone can read this. It looks like the person that's in charge at the TVA cannot even see the timekeepers herself. Like no one really knows, or no one remembers what the timekeepers are supposed to be, or where or how they're supposed to be. They know where they are, but it's like they don't get to see them. So I don't know, maybe over time they're just still doing their job, but there's no, you know, there's nothing behind it to control the sacred timeline. That's why, you know, in the first episode, I was so sad that this came down to, you know, faith, but dictated by the timekeepers. So free will, freedom, that doesn't exist. It's kind of depressing. So I was hoping that maybe by the end of it, we'd come to understand that many timelines, many universes is actually a good thing, and we could possibly do this and make this a reality again.
It will probably come to that at the end of
That'd be a fucking twist if the variant ended up being someone who tries to do something that in the end is going to be good for everyone, and the timekeepers are the ones that are the enemy. That'd be a real twist.
If we think about it, right now the timekeepers are trying to prevent people from changing their
The
story.
sacred time, yeah.
So if someone wants to become a good person, they cannot, because that's gonna change the story.
But that's the thing.
You know,
we
but
only have Loki.
Loki said it best. No one is good is always good, and the one who is bad is always bad. So
Completely bad and completely good.
that's right. So
He's the best example of
we
that.
shouldn't be unable to make choices and just decide to if I was supposed to be the destroyer of Asgard, well, I decide to not be the destroyer of Asgard and just follow a completely different path, you know.
Well, the sacred timeline doesn't dictate if you're completely good or bad. It's just that if you are bad, but still you have a redeeming, you know, quality or a redemption arc, it's in the sacred timeline. It's just that if you do something that goes against the timekeepers, that's when they want to erase you. That doesn't make you bad. Like we talked about this in the first episode, how Loki was there and, you know, treated as a criminal, but then how can we really treat him as a criminal when all he did is just, you know, he saw an opportunity and he took it to escape. And he's had that in his real timeline, in his actual path. He's escaped several times.
True.
But then why those times were not bad, because it followed what the timekeepers did. So this one time, what he did wasn't bad because he did it several times, but the timekeepers were not agreeing with this. So that's when they treated him as a criminal. So it's basically whatever you do doesn't matter as long as it goes exactly as the timekeepers have, you know, decided.
Which is completely absurd in a way.
Sort of.
You know?
Sort of, and it's depressing as fuck, like we said last episode. So I see, you know, they talked about them being the only ones that are free, but then the concept is everything that's real, that's alive, was created and dictated by the timekeepers. But then what created and dictated the timekeepers? What created them? Where do they come from? So
where do everybody come from?
That's the thing. I think there's a bigger power in it, which is why I'm gonna root for this show to eventually destroy the sacred timeline and just allow variants to exist and create multiple universes. Even though, you know, last time it happened, apparently there was a huge war, but maybe that's not. I was saying, you know, after so much time, maybe they don't remember very well what happened. Like, how many of them were actually there when it happened? So maybe what we learned from, the beginning of it all is not true. Maybe there was no war. Maybe the timekeepers are the ones that started it all. I don't think it's, I don't know if it's supposed to be a clue, but one of them fucking looks like Thanos. I'm like, he's not a good guy. At the same time, and I'm not saying they're good or evil. I'm saying that, if you think about Thanos, actually, his intentions were good, but the way he did it was evil. The way he did it robbed people of their lives. It destroyed a lot.
True.
So the timekeepers, if they are in the same, if they are of the same branch, sort of, same type of people, I would assume that as villains for this show, maybe what they tried to do is good, but in the end, the way they did it is bad for the people because it robs them of free will.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's gonna be interesting to discuss this fucking show.
I don't know if you noticed, but I just saw that everything in that place with the timekeepers is just so put in order. Like the colors, the chairs, everything's like
they follow the rules
they
to a T.
follow those to a T, and everything is just so dull, Like
there's no life there. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no, not really vibrant colors. There's no something like funky. It's like tan brown, dark khaki green.
Well, it looks like they're all bureaucrats. It looks like
They
they
are all
all work. Yeah,
bureaucrats.
well, some of them are actual agents.
And
that
we
go out,
all
but-
know that. A life in the office is not a life at all.
And I don't know if you've seen
No.
this. You've ever seen this picture? I think I don't remember where I saw it actually, but it's a photo of. It's a drawing, but it's basically an office, and you've got the people working at their desk, and the first person looks okay. It's his first day, but then as you go down in the offices, the person just looks, more and more dead, and the last one is literally a skeleton. Life becomes so dull, and we talked about this last episode about how it's funny how these guys who are supposed to be in control of our lives know nothing about life. Mobius to me seems like the one that's more human out of all of them. He doesn't want to treat the humans as things that don't matter. When his colleagues are like threatening them and they don't give a shit about the consequences of what they do, for us. He's like, come on, they're not supposed to be afraid of us, which is very true. But I think because of their job and because of the power that they hold,
They cannot connect with.
They don't connect, and
others.
they stop connecting. They stop caring about the people they're actually supposed to protect. And Mobius is his passion is jet skis and stuff. He's never been on one.
He can't. That would change the timeline.
But he's so
Unless in
disconnected.
front of apocalypse time.
He's so disconnected from life, which is really sad. And honestly, how can you fucking care for the people you're supposed to protect if you don't know what you're protecting? If you have never experienced it?
True.
It's a very, very sad universe, which is why I keep, thinking maybe it's not all it's supposed to be. Maybe the real bad guys in this show are the timekeepers and not the variant.
We do know that there is gonna be a movie or a series about Doctor Strange and the multiverse. So maybe that's gonna lead to that.
Maybe.
Who knows?
But yeah, we need to talk about Loki a little bit. Whether it's the female one or our Loki.
I'm not sure that's the real female Loki. So we're gonna wait.
Well,
Wait to be sure.
It wouldn't be the first time that, the character doesn't really look like the one in the comics, but it's true that the difference is so big this time that I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if it turned out to not be.
But we've seen different type of Loki when they show them during the episode, but every single one of them had like black hair and they kinda
it stays
like
similar
him.
sort of.
So why would she be blonde if she was Lady Loki? So that doesn't make sense for me. So I'm not sure that
Maybe
she's really the deal, the big deal,
Yeah, maybe it's Lady Thor who stole something of Loki and just went berserk.
Maybe.
No, forget that. But honestly, Loki this episode is very interesting because as Loki usually does, he's trying to push his own agenda. And we're gonna wonder what his agenda is for the entire show. I think they're not gonna make him the villain of this one, yet they cannot change his character completely that fast. I think he went after the variant because, first of all, he's intrigued. Mm-hmm. He's very intrigued about what's going on. He knows they're all expecting... I don't think he sees a future for him if he stays with the TVA, because they're going to say he failed and he's going to be reset. So no chance for him to prove himself, which I know it's what he wants deep down. No chance for him to prove he's the best, which again is what he wants deep down. I think going after female Loki here, it's both a way to, he's going to play the traitor, but he's going to play a double game. He was saying, I'm playing the double agent, which I think when he began this whole thing, it was his idea, to maybe try and one-up them all, get to meet the timekeepers and do something about it. But the more he tried and the more they always, had one over him, I think he's also really connecting with Mobius. So we'll see what happens. But right now I think he's just playing female Loki and also trying to understand by staying with her what's going on. So,
but you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Thor 2. I forgot the name, sorry.
I don't remember. Thor 2.
Thor Into Darkness. I don't know.
Dark something, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and Thor 2, basically Loki tried to convince the Dark Elves that he was on their side, and basically played a trick with his brother. So I wouldn't be surprised if this time he's doing the same thing again, and he's gonna try to convince this female Loki that is on her side and he's trying to double cross the TVA agents.
Yeah, and at the same time, I still think it's a little more complicated than just, I'm gonna go with her, I'm gonna pretend to be on her side, and then I'm gonna betray her. I think deep down he also wants to, see because she's so interesting in a way, because she controls everything. She always is one step ahead. Like he was saying, he's always 10 steps ahead of everyone else, but like this time it's a him that is so different from him, and is also 10 steps before him. Mm-hmm. And he, female Loki was saying like, this is not about you and stuff, this is bigger than you. Maybe it's so different from what he would do that it got his attention a little bit. I think he wants to see what the plan is and try to understand this other Loki. But there's also the double agent stuff. I'm not sure if he's decided yet if he's gonna double cross her, but he's opening his horizons. I really like the idea that maybe he went with her because he knows that if he stays behind, it's gonna be the end of the line for him. And at least if he stays with female Loki, he still has options. Whether, he gets an opportunity to do something big, follow female Loki and do something with her and, succeed, that's great. Mm-hmm. And then opening also the door of potentially, helping Mobius through this because he stays with her and he can, learn about her and what she wants to do. Maybe it's all of that. I know the look he gave Mobius was real though. It was, he hesitated. I think he was sad to betray his trust because he trusted him.
Not true, but I think that you're right that he went with her because he knew that if he didn't, that would be the end of it. Yeah. They might not be able to find her again. So by falling into the portal,
that's his chance.
He's gonna keep close, learn more, all of the things that he could learn about her, and with her, and do something about it. Maybe just for himself, maybe to help others. We don't know yet.
Maybe both. I wouldn't say just for himself, because that look he gave was too sad and too genuine for him to really just want to fuck Mobius and go away.
We already know that Loki's not all bad, all good.
Definitely.
And with what he learned about what he did, like he's the cause for, he's not really the cause for Asgard destruction. The death of his mother, the death of thousands of people.
He helped it along.
He helped it along, but I think that with that knowledge and the look that he gave Mobius, he's gonna try to do something to help people.
He's gonna be a good guy at the end of this.
Something for him on the side,
He's gonna do something great by the end of it. It's a show! He's gotta do something great. Yeah. Speaking of doing something great, just before we finish this discussion, the Pompeii scene was just fucking... What the fuck? How, we were talking about how they disconnected with the humans and they don't give a shit. Well, Loki is a good example of that. How he just doesn't give a shit because they're supposed to disappear and die anyway, and he's supposed to be a god, so he's not supposed to care about humans and stuff, and Mobius is, technically not human, and he's not connecting with these people, so to have them all just bicker over the end of their fucking life, that was just... Wow, I did not think they were gonna go there, but they did, and it was funny. Jesus.
All right.
So yeah, anything else?
No,
So
that's all for me.
we'll end this here. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. We'll see you next week with another one. But if you want to see the full reaction of this episode, it's going to be up on Patreon. So the link will be down in the description. Check it out if you want.
Yeah, so we're gonna see you next week for the episode 3, guys.
Bye.